Hello and welcome back to another week of Guided by Faith. I'm your host, Jay Holland. It was a real joy to have Ryan sub for me last week. I appreciated it and got a lot out of his messages. Before we dive into what we're going to be talking about all week this week, I want to just remind you, if you're looking to start a new habit that will just have all kinds of dividends in your life, I want to encourage you to check out my book, Renewed, the 365-Day Christian Gratitude Journal. It's out through Amazon. You can just look up Renewed Jay Holland and you'll find it. There's always a link in the show notes as well. But if you are watching on YouTube, I'll just show you a page here real quick. Every day you have a scripture verse, a unique scripture verse, and a unique prompt that will ask you some aspect and have you reflect on some aspect of God's design, God's character, His work in your life, the blessings He's given. And it'll just give you a chance to kind of grow your gratitude as you stop and pause and think each day. And it takes 3 to 5 minutes. So a great thing that you can add to your spiritual walk, or it's a great gift to give if you need a belated Mother's Day present or a grad gift, something like that. Check it out on Amazon and let other people know about it if you think that it's been good for you. Let's go into our core topic for the week. We are still in Romans 13. Ryan walked through a section last week that was talking about government and our duties and obligations with government. This week, we're going to be looking at the last part of it, and I'm going to actually jump and do a little bit in the middle and let us think about that, and then we'll kind of tease it out the rest of the week. So Romans 13, 11 through, let's just do 11 and 12. Paul says, besides this, you know the time, the hour has come for you to wake from sleep, for salvation is nearer to us now than when we first believed. The night is far gone, the day is at hand, so let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light. Now, I love that verse. Salvation is nearer to us now than when we first believed. And as believers, this is a reality in our lives. We have never been closer to the return of Jesus than we are right now. And I was thinking about how when Paul wrote this and when he was writing his New Testament letters, they were expecting the imminent return of Jesus. They really believed that it could happen in their lifetime. But they also knew that they had work to do. So they were aiming to be ready when the Lord returned, but also be busy about His work. And you can't neglect the daily things of life because you don't know what day He's coming back. But I began to think, imagine if you knew that Jesus was going to return in, let's say, 30 days. So 30 days from now, exactly 1 month from now, Jesus was going to come back. What would you be doing with the next 30 days of your life? You know, this is kind of interesting. It's a little bit different because maybe you've done this before. It's like, imagine that you knew that you only had 30 days to live left. So that's the case as well, except, you know, in that case, it's often we're thinking about, you know, if I'm dying, but everybody else is living and moving forward. But if you knew that Jesus was returning, and so, you know, there's a lot of different end times interpretations from the pre-trib, pre-mill to post-mill and all kinds of stuff. Can't get into that right now. But you knew that when Jesus returns, He's returning for you because you're a believer. How would you be spending the next 30 days of your life? There's some in Romans 13 that talks about what we're supposed to be doing. We'll unpack some of it over this week. But a few things that stood out to me. One was, you know, I would pay my debts because, you know, I don't need these debts going forward. And when Jesus comes back, ultimately, I want Him to catch me doing good, catch me being in right relationship with others, and not have been short on anything that I owed. Romans 13:8 says, owe no one anything except to love one another. So if I have a debt to pay, I want to pay that debt. Speaking of debts, if I had a sin debt that I wanted to pay, or that I had a sin debt, meaning that I knew that I had offended somebody, that I'd sinned against somebody, I would want to go make that right. I would want to restore that relationship. When Jesus comes back, I don't want to be caught up in the air and have all of this unsaid business that I should have taken care of. Another one was if somebody sinned against me, man, I don't want to be returning to Jesus holding on to a grudge. And so I would forgive the people that I needed to forgive. And then ultimately, what would I be doing over these 30 days? It's kind of funny because if you're in school and if this is May, like you got finals and stuff coming up, you'd be like, well, I wouldn't be studying for finals because none of it matters. But you don't know that Jesus has come back in 30 days, so you probably should finish your finals. You should probably still continue to go to work. But ultimately, whatever tasks need to be done, like, look, you're going to have to eat. You'd still have to clean your bathroom, right? You still need to brush your teeth. There's basic things you need to do. But ultimately, you need to be pursuing loving people, especially by telling them about Jesus. You know, the greatest love gift that I can give is to share my faith and to share the truth of the gospel with people. So imagine you have 30 days left, and at the end of those 30 days, Jesus is going to return. It's kind of like you want to be caught, living as wholeheartedly for God as you can. So what I'm ultimately just kind of getting at is, look, we don't know when he's coming back. It could be 30 days. It could be before the end of today. It could be 30 years. It could be 300 years. I really don't know. And this week, I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why I think his return is actually very close. But I want to encourage you, live like Jesus is coming back very soon. Let that guide what you hold on to. Let that guide what you put your eyes on. Let that guide your relationships. Now, you're still going to have to do some wise long-term, planning. I always talk about be your future self's best friend. But we don't want to hold on to petty grudges. We don't want to hold on to sin. We don't want to hoard debt. We want to owe nobody except the debt of love and continue to pay that off. Because when Jesus comes back, we want him to catch us doing his ultimate good. So think about that. Think about what that would mean in your life. Think about the things that I said I would do. Those come straight out of the Bible, so I hope that you would do them as well. And if there's somebody that you knew you only had 30 days to reach out to, maybe spend this 30 days reaching out to them and see what the Lord will do. So we'll talk more this week, but that's a good starter. Think about it in your life, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.